Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Disclaimer before we get started with this review. Why is it every time, most of the time anymore, when I'm about to start recording, I have to go to the bathroom? Yes, literally, like I'm about to record, I'm like, wait a minute, and I just run to the bathroom. Right down the hallway from there. I don't know why. Random fun fact about the man. I'm sure none of you care to hear that, but I'm throwing it out there. But guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here for my review of this past week's episode of Monday Night Raw, the last Raw review of September, the last Raw review before Bad Blood. And as I said in my recent channel update I gave, there will only be Raw reviews in the month of October up until Crown Jewel. After Crown Jewel, again, because of the incoming birth of my son and and the holidays in November and December, and me just, and my wife wanting to be there to season them in, and just figure out, what I can do in life right now and whatnot, like what my routine now is going to be, now that I'm going to be responsible for a young child. And so yeah, as I said before, we'll be taking a break from Raw and SmackDown reviews after October, so there's not too many left for the rest of 2024. And boy, has this year flown by. But we are here again to review Raw. It took place this past Monday, September 23rd, 2024, the day after my birthday. And it took place in Ontario, California. The big hype for this show was the main event Intercontinental Championship match between Braun Breaker and Jey Uso. They were also advertising a few other things happened on the show. Drew McIntyre responded after CM Punk said his piece about their upcoming Hell in a Cell match as well. Rhea RIpley announces a stipulation for her women's championship match at Bad Blood against Liv Morgan. We also have Sami Zayn taking on Gunther's right-hand man, Ludwig Kaiser, trying to get another shot at the world title. Some other stuff going on in the women's division as well. Seems like they're still teasing a Miz heel turn. Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman still running chaos all over the place. There is a lot that happened, of course, on the show. And again, Raw right now continues to be my favorite wrestling show of the week. I remember when it was at one point my least favorite wrestling show of the week. But here in 2024, it has been my favorite. It's been the best, has the best roster, best stories. It's just firing on all cylinders. I'm enjoying it. And I look forward to talk about it. I do gotta admit, though, I did get the results by accident, my fault, spoiled about the main event before I saw it. And especially after I saw the main event, I'm like, jeez, oh man, I wish I would have saw it live and not been spoiled. Because I would have been going haywire. I would have been going nuts. I would have been going, yeet. For sure, all fired up and whatnot. Great main event match and great moment as well for a certain Yeetzer. We'll talk about that at the end of this video. But I'm going to get right into it. We're going to talk about this episode of Raw, and we will roll from there. So the show opened up with Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan pulling up in a car. I forgot what the car is called. It's apparently how Eddie Guerrero used to enter as well, too. But he pulls up, and as they're coming in, Here comes Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed just running through the shot like a freight train. They're still going that after last week. They just can't, contain them. These two are just trying to literally destroy one another. Sets up for a match for probably next week's main event that won't be at the pay-per-view, which disappoints me because good goodness. I don't know what the heck I'm trying to say here. But this stuff with Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, again, Bronson Reed especially, has literally been booked like super strong since SummerSlam. I know probably the bigger match is him and Seth Rollins whenever Seth comes back, when he's not falling into the crowd at sporting games, because I just saw that post recently as well. But I think Bronson Reed is definitely like the next like project that Triple H is working on, getting on like a main event level. And him and Braun Strowman just literally take the absolute best out of each other. Bring the best out, I'm sorry. But we saw more from them later on. I'll tell them the match later on announced. But Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan come out. And they do a little victory lap because they claim they are winners. And none of them in the crowd are winners. They mentioned how the Revenge Tour is going exactly as planned. And throws to tape of Judgment Day destroying the Terror Twins last week. She promises to take everything from Rhea. And that's exactly what she did. The title, it's hers. Judgment Day, hers. Daddy Dom, hers. And she's about to mention how in 2 weeks' time she will retain the title. And RIpley then shows up. She says Liv can take it easy. She's not going to attack her. She's actually got something to tell both of them. Dom, of course, steps in the way Rhea mocks him. And then Liv pulls him back and asks if, is this the fact that you're not clear to compete at Bad Blood? Because of her little knee being a mess. Rhea's like, no, that's not it. I'm actually cleared for Bad Blood. But there's another message I got. Since Dom keeps sticking his nose into the women's championship business, Adam Pearce has decided that at Bad Blood, Dom will be where exactly he deserves to be. Behind bars in a shark cage. So that's the stipulation for the match. Dominic Mysterio will be locked in a shark cage above the ring. And then also she headbutts Liv Morgan before she leaves. It was a vicious looking headbutt too. Liv sold it very well. I thought she literally did break Liv's nose. But yeah, Dom's going to be in a shark cage. I think the last time we saw someone in a shark cage, from what I can remember, you don't quote me on this, but the last one I can think of off the top of my head was the match with Carmella and Asuka, which was horrible, at Extreme Rules 2018, where James Ellsworth was in the shark cage. He fell out, got his foot stuck in something, and Asuka basically was kicking the crap out of him like a freaking piñata. I remember talking about that in my wrestling in the wrestling review wrestling awards video used to do with Daniel Gaiza and Robbie One Kenobi. And I was just kicking the crap. And it sounded ridiculous talking about it. And then Robbie reminds us that it's the James Ellsworth piñata. Oh man. But anyhow. So that's official. I don't know if that'll make a difference though, because Judgment Day is still going to interfere. I just feel like though, even though you locked up Dom, who says that Finn and JD or Carlito won't interfere, or maybe Liv will get another sidekick. Will she? I don't know. But I just feel like that, okay, cool, but it doesn't quite solve the problem for Rhea. But we'll see where it goes. I mean, Finn has his match with Damian, which, by the way, they had a really good video package for that later on in the show. I'll talk about that too. I thought it was great. But that was, good start. We had Sami Zayn take on Ludwig Kaiser. Match was fine. Nothing like super spectacular, but was still good. I gotta also say this. Why do I kind of like Ludwig's version of his theme song better than how I have for Gunther? I like the more powerfulness to it. I don't know. Just my opinion. I don't know. But Sami Zayn does win with the Haluva kick. Afterwards, Gunther comes out and he tells Sami that basically the answer is still no for his title shot, which is making me speculate. I guess they're probably going to save it until Crown Jewel, because I think Bad Blood does have a full card. And again, Sami's much more popular. I mean, not saying he's not popular, but he's popular in the States. He's even more popular, though, overseas, though. So I think they're going to save that match for Crown Jewel, which I'll accept. Sami, though, is not going to win, but I like they continue to play up this fact that, you know, obviously that loss Gunther had to Sami back at WrestleMania is still in his head. So obviously he's afraid. But we had good stuff there. Then we have Xavier Woods sitting on a road case backstage when Kofi rolls up and he apologizes, and then Woods says, you know, tensions are high and he's cool too. And Xavier Woods went back into the archives to kind of boost his spirits, and he handed him a bunch of, you know, old stuff from the New Day, like, you know, the box of Bootios, Francesca, and a big Bootio as well. And Woods says, you know, stuff was all great when they were on top, but they haven't held the titles in, I think he said 3 years. And then he gets serious about this. Kofi admits he's right and says he's been making decisions himself. So for the next few weeks, he tells Woods, you should call the shots. Which I think they led to a crew member with pancakes coming out, but Kofi shoos him away. I don't know what that was all about, but we're him saying, you know, I don't want to be like, you know, calling more of the shots. But anyways, American Made rolled up, and Chad Gable uses New Day as an example of what not to be. And then Kofi takes them out by saying the Wyatt Six are behind them and tries to scare them. And then Xavier Woods calls a shot saying they want a match against the Creed brothers later on in the show, which Gable mocks him, but he accepts the challenge for American Made. We do have a video package for the IC title match with Braun Breaker and Jey Uso in the main event later on in the show. Dom and Liv are upset with Adam Pearce, and he starts yelling back and doesn't give an inch about the shark cage. And then Carlito and JD roll up to back them up, and Carlito says he's going to kick Dragon Lee's ass, and Liv says the rest of Judgment Day will teach the LWO a lesson as well. Which they run into Ilya Dragunov as they leave, and they bicker with him as well. And then they have Carlito and Dragon Lee. I didn't really care. I mean, I like Dragon Lee. I like Carlito, but Carlito's not really winning matches right now. Other than him saying in the background, that's cool, to like everything. It's not doing much to me right now. Dragon Lee, I am hoping they give him a big push. And Carlito, I still hope they kind of, you know, give him a little more juice, but not caring too much. But Dragon Lee does win. Afterwards, we have a backstage segment with The Miz, who he has a match with Bronson Reed in just a few minutes. And they still replay how last week, Miz basically asked Braun Strowman, why did you doubt me? And then Braun's like, it's not you, it's just a monster needs to take out a monster. Well, Miz was backstage when Karrion Kross rolls up, playing the typical devil on your shoulder role, fine. The Miz tries to brush him off, but Kross tells him, tries to get in his head about how it's messed up that nobody around here actually respects him, and he just wants him to be The Miz. Continuing to tease that heel turn, but like I said though, I think, how do I say this in the nicest way? I feel like they may have just run out of options for The Miz. Like, as a babyface, he's fine. He's not... I still view his 2013 face run as his worst. 2019, I really think they had something there, and then they screwed that up. But, I don't know. I just think even Miz turns heel again, it's not going to make a difference. I don't know if this will really do much, but if I was Miz, I would have him stay face. And when you think he's about to go back to the dark side, he resists. Because that could kind of show a little bit of character growth. Just something different, but will it make much of a difference? I don't know. But we got that there. You also have Sheamus backstage being interviewed about Pete Dunne, and he says Dunne hit him for 6 last week and leads a big call him Butch chant, which is definitely getting over, before saying he still has a score to settle and he's making this an English-Irish thing. So I don't know what their next stipulation is going to be, but there will be one more match between the two of them. And then we're getting ready for the match with Bronson, Reed, and The Miz, which The Miz is out there. But then Braun just crashes, and they both just start brawling again. Miz, of course, wasn't taking it, but he walked away from it, and then security had to hold them back. And then later, it's made official that we're going to be getting not a last man standing match next week, a last monster standing match next week on Raw. Yeah, it's on Raw. That's a bummer. This is pay-per-view worthy material. Should be on pay-per-view, but whatever. It's not going to be on pay-per-view, so whatever. But yeah, I wish it would be on pay-per-view. But like I said, I just don't know if there's anything left for The Miz to do. I get they're teasing the heel turn, like I said. Even him turning heels is not going to really do much, I don't think. But who knows? Who knows? We also have a segment with Drew McIntyre. And it was a good segment, but he basically repeated everything Punk said last week about what he was going to do, about making him bleed, and that he'll have to try to kill him in order to beat him and whatnot. And he basically just repeats the same thing that Punk said. So, also about how, he was told not to do this, but he's going to do it and whatnot. It was just, weird. But good delivery. He cut the promo well. It was just a repeat from last week. And then we also have a backstage with Adam Pearce, again, announcing the last monster standing. But we also hear fighting noises from down the hall, and Pete Dunne was choking out Sheamus with a cricket bat. So whatever that's going to be, we'll have to wait and see. Bianca Belair then rolls up the Damage Control and congratulates Io on her performance in their match last week. Io says next time she's coming for the tag titles, and Jade says she's best understand they're not putting hands on those titles. So Damage Control had a match with Unholy Union. The match is fine. Again, all women are talented. It's just these freaking dynamics, I don't know. I just don't care about this women's tag division. Damage Control win with a diving moonsault from Io on the Isle of Dawn. And move on. Before the main event, we saw a little bit before the main event. We had Braun Strowman being interviewed Braun Breaker being interviewed backstage. He says, it's game day. And that means the dogs are barking. Woo, woo, woo. And there's going to be a winner. And there's going to be a loser. And he's not going to be the one to get his ass kicked. But he'll do Jey Uso a favor and give him another shot in a few months when he works his way back up, because he's going to be champion for a long, long time. We also get they also replayed Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns promo on from SmackDown from the Georgia Tech Stadium, which, don't get me wrong, it was cool, but why did they have to replay the whole thing again on Raw? I would have rather than recapped it rather than just play the whole thing. Just a little nitpick there, but not the end of the deal. We also see Sami Zayn give Jey Uso a pep talk about his match later for the IC title. And then the Creed brothers took on the New Day. Another great match. Unfortunately, some miscommunications happened again. And, Chad Gable tried to get involved. And it also led to then the Creed brothers win with the Brutus Ball on Xavier Woods. And, of course, afterwards, Xavier Woods is even more upset. They have a backstage promo where the LWO try to apologize for what happened last week. Xavier Woods, he doesn't want an apology unless it involves them getting a tag title shot. Then Ray says he gets that he's going through, but he needs to know they'll get through because they're the New Day. But Xavier Woods then starts digging at Ray about how he should give advice to his son, and flips out over his perception that he's being mistreated because he's never held a singles title. And it all ends with Mysterio booking a match against Xavier Woods, and Kofi chasing Woods for his attitude. And because Ray said that we're supposed to face Finn Balor next week, but he says Finn can wait. I'm getting something else prepared, by the way, and they'll fight next week. I think Xavier Woods will fight. Well, Xavier Woods is going to fight Rey Mysterio. I think, is that a first time match? Maybe. And then Kofi's going to take on Chad Gable. I continue to say this. I think the turn, whoever does turn, I still kind of want it to be Kofi to be the one to turn heel, not Xavier Woods. But I'm still saying this. New Day celebrate their 10-year anniversary in November. I think that's when the turn happens. Is when they celebrate their 10-year anniversary. Heartbreaking, but, you know. And then we got the main event. Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso for the Intercontinental Championship. Jey, of course, has his entrance going through the crowd, which is just outstanding. Braun Breaker comes out. And the match was really good. Gave it a lot of time. Bunch of crazy near falls. Especially the last several minutes of the match for sure. Oh man, like I said, I got the results spoiled to me by accident. Again, it was my fault. No one else's fault. But when I watched this match, there's sometimes you just watch those matches and you feel, damn it, I wish I would have seen this live and not, or at least not known the results, not been spoiled. Like, you just feel that disappointment. Like, I would have been so excited for this moment here or something like that. And unfortunately, again, that didn't happen. But things go crazy. Jey Uso does a bulldog off the apron. And Braun does a bulldog off the apron and sends Jey into the announce desk as well. We have that avalanche Frankensteiner move that Braun does that I think is just outstanding. And I think there was... Here's one thing I'll take about Braun Breaker's booking whenever he, is booked to lose a match. I like that he's basically booked where, like, he's basically Achilles. He is dominating, but the 1 second you catch him off guard, then it means a lot. Makes him look even more dominant, I think. I love that heel booking. Again, not every heel has to be a chicken shit heel. You can have a dominant heel like Braun Breaker, but he's dominating. But in order to beat him, you gotta find a weakness. And not just have him be a coward, I'm so scared. Not all of them have to be scared like that. But we have the one near fall where Braun goes for a spear. And Jey, though, counters instead and spears Braun first, goes up to the rope, does a splash, Braun kicked out. Go out to the floor. Goes for another spear. Instead, I think there was a moment there also where I think Jey did get speared or something and he kicked out. There was a near fall where I thought Braun had Jey. But the match ended when they were out on the floor. Braun went to do his little victory lap into his spear. Goes for the spear. Jey super kicks him. Then he does his own victory lap. He spears Braun through the barricade. Throws Braun back into the ring. Hits a second spear. Goes up to the top rope. Uso splash. I did not think this was going to happen. Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, after 14 years, finally gets himself some singles gold, winning him the Intercontinental Championship. Yeet! I thought that was awesome. No, wait. Put it around my neck and we go, yeet! Yes. Jey Uso, the singles champion. I did not think Jey was going to beat Braun Breaker. I really didn't. But you know what? Like I said, I'm cool that they did. Give him a brief run. Don't make it like, oh, he wins the title and then next week he drops back to Braun. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Give him a couple months. Maybe till Survivor Series. Or the end of the year. End of the year, okay. I'll take it. Give the guy a reign. yes, does Jay really need a championship? No. But in some ways, yes. He deserves to be rewarded for how hot he's been. For how much popular he's become. I was even saying to my wife when we were watching when I was watching this match with her. I said, I think it's been since SummerSlam 2023 when he started the whole raise in the roof. And just like 1 year later, that's still like one of the hottest things. I mean, I would say it got even hotter when Jay did that entrance through the freaking crowd. And they stuck with that entrance because it was so freaking cool. I'm like, you had to capitalize him at some point. And they gave it to him here. And I'm happy for Jay. He deserves it. Triple H knows. Sometimes, yes, we know that Braun's like his big pet project for the future. But take a break for a second, Braun. Let Jay have his moment. Then we'll get back to the plan. That's basically what they did right here with Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Championship. But I will be honest, it was disappointing, of course, to see them cut it off so soon, which Rikishi didn't like. And that's another thing, too. Rikishi has been very vocal lately, criticizing a lot of things with how Jey Uso's been booked, with how he's been respected. He even, of course, made a comment about Vince McMahon that people didn't settle for too well when he said he deserves a second chance. Yeah, Rikishi's kind of been making his voice known. But not taking it away from Jey Uso. Finally, after 14 years. He never thought he'd be doing this. He finally wins himself a singles title. And he is the new Intercontinental Champion. Yeet! Definitely happy for Jay. But, that's going to do it, guys. That's my Raw review. Again, great show. Couple little nitpicks I got in there, but still great. Like the stuff with Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker and Jey Uso having with their match as well. I gave the show a B+. B+, some little nitpicks in there, but again, great show. B+ for Raw this week. I will be back up here, of course. Back down here, of course. I ran about this in my channel update. I'll be back down here, of course, sometime over the weekend for my SmackDown review. Again, as also said in my channel predictions, as far as video games go right now, besides my baseball highlight videos that I'm making, my main focus right now, reason why I haven't gone back to the Wolf 3D Let's Play of Spear of Destiny Ultimate Challenge is because I'm trying to get the last part of Roller Coaster Tycoon done. It's just taking me a little longer than I thought. But that will get done, and then we will get back to that as well. And yeah, like I said, structured still over this next month or so. And then again, after Crown Jewel, we'll be taking a break from Raw and SmackDown reviews until sometime in January. But thank you guys again for coming down here. What are your guys' thoughts again on Raw? Gave the B+. What are your thoughts on Jey Uso being a Intercontinental Champion, singles title for the first time in his career? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comments section below. And be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at the Club of Demand 93. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram, Club of Demand 1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later and have a great rest of your night. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just in pain, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah! But also because he won a championship. I think we should also appropriately end this review by just saying, yeet!